Hello and welcome back to part 4 of my Great Divide mountain bike adventure. Please join me as I cycle through Wyoming and onwards through to the Colorado area. Good morning all, it's the start of day 20 I think, and I'm just about to leave the Colter Bay camping village in the Grand Teton area and heading towards Toguti Pass. And then onwards, I suppose eventually towards Pinedale. So just leaving the campsite, getting all tidied up. There's all my gear. Got some resupply here. Thankfully I got some camping gas to do some cooking, so that's all refreshed. Getting the bike loaded up and we'll head out on the road. Bit of an overlook here. It's overcast as you can see, but that doesn't matter to me. I'm quite happy about that for cycling. But a reasonable view there now of the Tetons, a little bit of cloud on the top of them. We've had a bit of rain, which is first time in 20 days. Proper rain, you know, like a weather system going through. Anyway, it's clearing a bit now, but it's helped keep things a bit cooler for longer. Whew. Gradually climbing up towards Toguti or Toguti Pass. And then Union Pass apparently. Well, the weather's picked up nicely. I'm on the old Toguti highway apparently, before they built the new road further across in the valley. And I'm heading towards the Toguti Mountain Lodge, which is a couple of miles along the road here. Maybe they will have some cold drinks. Let's have a look. Oh, here we are. We've arrived at the Toguti Hotel. The Toguti Hotel. Anyway, we'll go find a sandwich and a drink. Ooh, scenic safaris. Look at the size of the tyres on them. Wow. Serious kit. So this is the Toguti Pass overlook. And the weather's improved a bit. You can still see the Tetons away in the distance there. I guess when I go over the top of the pass in a minute I'll lose them altogether, but they are spectacular when you look at them. So presumably I think I've come from around the back of here somewhere and then climbed up. We're about 8,700 feet at the minute. So elevation's gradually gaining. There's the roadway. That's a nice little sheltered spot. I did manage to get my cold drink and a sandwich down at the Toguti lodge down there. It's okay. Well, that's it. I think I've reached the top of the Toguti Pass. Continental Divide. Look at the view back. And if we swing round, I'm at 9,858 Continental Divide. So presumably water that's going that way is heading to the Pacific, and anything over there presumably heading to the Atlantic. I can see some snow-capped peaks over there. This area is really wild. Wow. Oh my goodness, look at that for a trail. Whew. Wow, this is empty country. Gosh, no idea where I am. Just following the road. Gradually going downhill, but there's some uphills as well. Morning all. And so day 21 begins. I've just packed up camp and beginning the climb up to Union Pass, and then from there it's kind of gradually over towards Pinedale. A tremendous thunderstorm last night all around. About 10:30 I suddenly woke up with lots of flashing going on. Very dramatic out here. Anyway, nice morning. Quite a lot of bare looking pine trees up there, but I think it's about 9,700 feet, so it's just an uphill to begin with, straight from the word go. Right, we're getting there up this hill. Just stop for a bit of a breather and look at the view. Currently at, let's have a see, 8,400, and I have got another 632 according to the Garmin to get up. Another 2.2 miles, which doesn't seem too bad. I'm just I've shown you quite a lot of pictures of going sort of along the level or downhill, but this is kind of the uphill. I'm doing 3.3 miles per hour. I've got no more gears left. I don't think the grade's too bad. I'm managing to keep going. You just pick your way, go around the outside of the bends, avoid the washboardy stuff, and just gradually crawl up the hill. So I'm just plodding up, continuing up to Union Pass. It's an absolute monster. It's been thundering and lightning. I've been hiding amongst the trees. There's some huge cumulonimbus clouds around, one just over here. I'm hoping that they're passing now though. The road's a bit wet. Anyway, that's the update. Looks like I'm going to spend most of the day just getting over Union Pass. Oh dear. There we go. So much for getting to Pinedale. No chance. Well, this has got to be the top, hopefully. There's a view behind. loads and loads of ATVs on this little section here. Just gotta keep your wits about you. If you catch one on the corner, it can knock you out. They're flying along. A little bit of a evening update. I'm still on the trail trying to get down off this Union Pass. Bit rough coming down here, just bouncing about all over the place. Somewhere down there, somewhere, I'm going to find a campsite. Tricky thing is though, there's hardly any water knocking about. Anyway, we'll have to find some. Good morning, this is day 22. It's not looking too promising at the moment. It's very cold, there's a little bit of rain in the air. I've heard some thunder going off in the distance. I'm just leaving Whiskey Grove campsite and I'm heading towards Pinedale, which I think is about 30 miles away. So that's in that direction. Anyway, offered more generosity in the campsite. A guy just sort of waved me over and said come and have some coffee, so I've had nice fresh coffee to start the day with, which has given me a little bit of a boost. So we'll see how today unfolds. There's a bit of a strong wind and it seems to be coming from the wrong direction. Anyway, here we go. So it is really windy, ridiculously windy. Anyway, just here is where in the 1860s they cut timber for railway ties. I think they're maybe the sleepers, and then they would put a raft together in the river down there, and then the raft would float down hundreds of miles to the railhead where they were then collected and used in the making of the railroads here. So that's interesting. Also, the fellow that gave us some coffee said that the rivers here are full of brown trout, rainbow trout and cutthroat trout. How about that? Yeah, so it is windy, just very slow going, but at least it's going. So I've just stopped in Pinedale, which is back the way. Had some lunch, resupply, and as you can see the weather's perked up, completely cleared. The wind's dropped, so I'm going to continue, see how far I get. Heading toward a place called, a little village called Boulder, I think. Somewhere down here. Good morning, it's the start of day 23. I just camped in this little area here. It's marked on the Adventure Cycling Association app. It's on the way towards Silver City, between Boulder and Silver City. It's a great campsite, there's a water supply. Nice grassy area. Lovely big thunderstorm last night passed over. The tent was really battered, but it stood up okay. Lots of coyotes making lots of noise, which is great. Anyway, I'm off towards Atlantic City, which is the kind of stepping stone to doing the basin, which will be probably tomorrow. We'll see. Okay, so we're heading off in that direction. We've got a lovely start to the day. There's a bit of a kind of indistinct track over that ridge there, and the road's just beyond. So we'll see you up the road. Just look at this Wyoming landscape. There's a young lad up ahead. He's just overtaken me. He's from Arizona, and we're both heading towards Atlantic City. He only overtook me about 5 minutes ago and he's like a mile ahead already. Woo. Well, there's the road ahead. Doesn't look too bad. Nice surface actually. Quite easy riding. That's where the road's going. From here, in a big loop, over to that ridge and along it. Just approaching South Pass City now. Some city. There's the mine workings over there. Not sure what there is here. Obviously just a scattering of houses. My objective is Atlantic City. So apparently this was another gold mining place that had a boom in the 1860s and then an ongoing bust. So although it's called a city, it never got beyond a cluster of little houses. Classic. And there's our destination, Atlantic City. This is Carlos in front from Madrid, Spain. So as the evening light draws on, glad to be here, get something to eat and drink, find somewhere to camp. This is the start of day 24. I'm just leaving Atlantic City, which is just behind me, and today is a day which I suppose it's a bit of a marker day really. So I'm just heading out into the empty void of the Great Continental Divide Basin. So there's a 78 mile ride today to the A&M reservoir. Got to make sure I pick up some water at the Diagonus well, which from reports I've heard is still running with water. So that's where I'll pick up a load of water and then continue the ride. It's going to be quite a long day, but hopefully not too many ups and downs according to the elevation profile. So it's a bit of a push out of Atlantic City, quite steep to begin with, but then downwards towards the, I think it's called the Sweetwater River. And just like that, you're in the basin. There's some pronghorn deer over there. I'm literally like 10 minutes out of Atlantic City. and the horizon just stretches on into the haze. Some CDT hikers. They're heading towards land today. Apparently I'm the first person they've seen in 3 days. Woohoo! Just approaching the Diagonus well. This is the place where I need to fill up with water for the rest of the day. A little bit off the track, but it's a reliable water source apparently. So it says on the sign that it's non-potable and that treatment is required, so I'm just going to filter some water into my bottles and into a bladder. Good supply though. Morning all, it's the start of day 25. Lots of deer knocking around, and I'm heading out of the basin towards Rawlins. About 56 miles today, and find a campsite in Rawlins, get resupplied there, and then start the next section. Nice start to the day as usual. Setting off reasonably early to avoid the period of the day when the wind picks up. And out here, if the wind picks up, if it's in the wrong direction, it can slow you down quite a bit. Anyway, here's the road. See how far we get. On this highway heading towards Rawlins, maybe the last 10 miles of the day, and I've just crossing the Continental Divide again. So there we go, 7174 feet. It's a bit of a tough climb this one, but it's all on the shoulder here, and it's a good wide shoulder, so not too bad. So I've arrived in Rawlins. I've booked into the Brickyard Inn, and going to spend a couple of nights here, just have a bit of a rest. Didn't stop in Pinedale as I kind of anticipated. So here we are, Rawlins. Have a look around tomorrow, but this place looks okay. It's like a motel. Okay. Check back with you later. Morning all. This is me leaving Rawlins. Spent a rest day here, which was quite good. Got some sort of slightly fresher legs now. Got some resupply from the Walmart. There's a McDonald's here, and yeah, reasonably good budget sort of level accommodation. So yeah, good stopover really. So today I'm heading down towards Steamboat Springs, which is probably about 150 miles, something like that. But obviously that'll take me 2 or 3 days to get there. Got all the gear. I'm heading down that direction. CDT hiker heading towards Rawlins. Whew. I wonder if he's walked all the way along here. I know the trail very much sort of shadows the Great Divide mountain bike route, certainly in these parts anyway. Push, 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 hiker bike. Too steep for me. Look at the road back there. So on yet another of these steep hills. Definitely not fun and games today. It's turning out to be a bit punishing. Still a bit more to go yet to get to the top of this fella. Hi there, just a little update. I'm still going. Left the tarmac just back there. Now on gravel. And I've reached like a tree line. There's these lovely white barked aspen trees. And the breeze just catches the leaves and makes them twitter. Look at that, it's lovely. So I finally made it to this little camp spot here next to the gravel road. I'm a little bit short of an area called Aspen Alley, so look forward to that tomorrow. It's been a pretty hard day, very hot. Quite a lot of hills, many of which I've pushed up, but I got here in reasonable time, about 50 miles or so. So I'm quite happy. I'm going to do the Columbine Alternate tomorrow, I think, or make a start on it rather than go up the main route. Anyway, I've got a nice view of a hillside over there with aspens on it, and a bit more of a hill over there. It's nice to be back in the hills and the forests and the greenery. So from the sunny evening, see you tomorrow. Morning, this is day 28. I'm just setting out, it's just gone 8 o'clock, and this is Aspen Alley. One of the I suppose one of the highlights of this route through these trees here. Unfortunately, a lot of them are quite mature and apparently they're beginning to sort of die off. They've got a lifespan like anything else. So it's maybe not quite as grand as it used to be, but there are some younger understory trees coming through, so maybe it'll restore itself in the future. But yeah, Aspen Alley, here we go. So there you go, Aspen Alley. Let's see what else the trail has up ahead. Colorado mountains over there. That's the way we're going. Big house over there, here in the fields, lots of buildings, vehicles parked up. So I'm just pushing my bike up this hill. For me it's a bit of a hiker bike section towards the top. But every now and again a car will go by, and often they just do go by, but one or two stop. And there's a young guy just stopped then, and he said, "Do you need any help, sir?" And I said, no, I'm alright, I'm just walking up here. But sometimes I feel like saying, I'll drive your car to the top of the hill and you can push my bike. Oh dear. Anyway, there we go. Still a bit of uphill to go yet. This is just the beginning, I think. I think I might have forgotten to mention that I've actually reached Colorado now. So here we are. It's a bit greener, a few more trees, looks a bit fresher. Now there's a ranch that you'd want to be living at, you, the Lazy Ass Ranch. It looks a pretty laid back place to me. Some fantastic entrances to these big ranches. But there you go, there's the Lazy Ass Ranch. So I've made it to this community hall, which is a few miles south of Clark. I asked the store lady in Clark if she could suggest anywhere where I could camp. Obviously a tricky question, I know. It's not every day that you get asked, you know, by someone, where can I put my tent? She said no, there's no chance. It's all private land, ranches either side of the road, all the way through to Steamboat Springs, which is about another 18 miles on. I don't really feel like I want to be doing that. Anyway, I came across this really old community hall, and yeah, a little bit of green space here. I'll be able to put my tent up at the end of the night. So I'm just quietly making my evening meal, and fingers crossed we'll be okay for tonight and get an early start tomorrow. And so, having made it into Colorado, to this little community hall, setting up my tent and getting ready for the evening meal, I want to thank you for watching this video. If you've got any comments, please write them in the space below. If you've enjoyed the video, please give it a like, and also consider subscribing to the channel so that you can see further episodes. Thanks for watching. See you next time.